Hello, dear peoples. How are you doing? Today we are going to look at comprehension. Comprehension is, now when you look at the word comprehension, comprehension is a noun. Okay? Comprehension comes from the word comprehend, which is a verb doing word. Okay? Now to comprehend, if I tell you, do you comprehend what I'm saying? To comprehend means to understand. That means, do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? So comprehension is a noun. It's the name of something. Comprehension means the ability to understand. The ability to understand. In our exams we have the comprehension section. The comprehension section. That is the last section. And we usually have stories or a passage. We have a story. We have a passage there. And after the story, at the end of the story, we have questions. We may have 5 questions, 10 questions, according to, now relating to what you've read, okay? Questions to check whether you have understood what you have read, okay? So if this is a story, then you have questions. Question 1, question 2, question 3, okay? So this is our passage, which is called the comprehension passage, okay? Now, the person who sets a comprehension passage wants to check whether you have understood what you have read by giving you questions, okay? So that's why it's called a comprehension passage, to check whether you have understood or whether you understand what you've read. So a passage may be a story, a section of a story. It may be a conversation, okay? Maybe a dialogue, okay? Now, and then we have the questions. So these questions are the ones that try to check whether you have understood, whether you have comprehended the comprehension passage, okay? So comprehension passage, or that section, is there to check whether you understand or whether you have understood what you've read, okay? Now, a passage, now I've had most pupils trying to tell me, but this story is so boring. Okay, no, so the passage or the comprehension passage is not set there to entertain you. It may entertain you, but it's not there to entertain you. It's there to check whether you have understood or whether you understand different things. And the moment you learn how to answer questions, the comprehension passage questions, it's going to help you even in understanding even other subjects, even different things that you learn in school, okay? So we have the reading, and then you have the answering of questions, okay? You answer questions every day. You listen to something and then you answer. So basically, you must understand what is being asked or what has been said for you to give a response, okay? So that's what we're going to look at here. So how do you deal with the comprehension passage? And how do you deal with the questions, okay? So when you're given the story, we have a story. So these lines here, so we have this story here. You have your story, maybe 1 paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs, maybe 1 page, 2 pages. Then you have the questions. You have the questions at the end here. So for you to answer these questions properly, for you to answer the questions that are there properly, you must read. It will be funny to answer questions for something you've not read. But we find some pupils, some students, answering questions of a passage that they have not read. Okay, they read the questions and then they try to find out the answers from a passage that they had not read earlier. That is the wrong way, okay? Right? So you must read and then you answer questions. Not reading questions and then you answer. You get answers from a story you've not read, okay? So how do we read? Basically, you must read 2 or 3 times. Read the passage at least 2 times. At least. You know, at least means the least number of times. The least number of times is 2. At least 2 times. Read the story at least 2 times. And why do I propose that you read the story at least 2 times? Okay? to get what the story is talking about, okay? To try to understand what it is all about, and then you answer questions. And I usually say that the comprehension passage, or the questions that are there, are the easiest questions in an English paper. Why? Because you have been given the answers, and then you ask the questions. For example, if I tell you, I went to Kariakor, that's the passage. I went to Kariakor, and then I ask you, where did I go? John went to Kariakor. Where did John go? I have already given you the answer. John went to Kariakor. Then the question is, where did John go? Of course, the answer is John went to Kariakor. The answer is already given there. So the story here, these are the answers to these questions. So basically, this is the easiest part of the paper. But you find that most people find this very hard, okay? Because you've not learned the art of getting the answers from the passage. Okay, it's an art. And you've got to do it over and over again for you to understand how to tackle these questions, okay? Right? So you read at least 2 times, then after reading at least 2 times, if you have time, read all the questions. Read all the questions, read all of them without answering. Read all of them, okay? And then read once, then read the questions, then read again. When you're reading the story again, if it's not too long, if you read again and you have the questions in your mind, you will see where the answers to the questions are. You know, your mind will have the questions you'll have the questions in your mind. So when you're reading the story again, you will have the answers, you will see the answers very clear on the passage. So if you have a pencil, I usually propose that if you have a pencil, try to underline the answers. As when you come across the answers as you're reading the second time, underline them. Then when it comes to answering the questions, it's not going to be hard for you to find where they are. Okay? Some of the answers you don't just take the sentence and then put it there and copy and paste. No, there is a way you can do it. Okay? The tenses may change, some words may change, but basically the basic idea must remain. Okay? The basic idea must remain. So read at least 2 times, read the questions, read the story again, underline where the answers are. If you have time, underline. Then you sit down now to answer the questions, and I assure you, you'll not get them wrong because you'll have done it correctly. Sometimes you may come across a word that you don't understand in the story, and then you're asked, maybe question 4 is, what does the underlined word mean? And in an exam situation, you're not supposed to use a dictionary. Okay, so how do you work out that? Okay, so for example, if the word is here, this is the word. You have sentences here, and that sentence ends there. This other sentence ends here. The start of the sentence is here, and this word is found here. So what I usually propose is you look at the word, okay, and look at the sentence before and after the word. The sentence before, the sentence where the word is found, and the sentence after it, and try to work out. This is mathematics. You try to work out the meaning of the word, okay? The meaning of the word. And that's why I usually propose that you read widely. Read as much as you can. Read as much as you can. Different things, okay? So that you can improve your vocabulary, okay? The word, you'll see the meaning of the word. The meaning of the word will just spring to your mind if you are used to reading, okay? Read the sentence before it, read where the word is found, read the sentence after it, and try to work out. Ask yourself, what does this word mean? What does it mean here? Okay? And then you can write your answer. If it's a multiple choice question, you try to find out the answer that closely resembles what you have worked out. If it's not, then write what you think it means, okay? We are learning, so it's a very important thing for you to do, okay? Read, and this, where the word is found is called context. Where the word is found, it's found the context of the word. Look at the context of the word, where the word is found, and try to work it out, okay? And I believe it's not going to be hard for you to answer such questions because you'll have done it properly. If you don't do it properly, it's going to be hard. If you do it properly, then this is the basically the easiest part of that paper, the easiest part of an English class or an English lesson. Comprehension. Some questions, some stories may be very interesting. Some may not be very interesting, but the basic thing is, at the back of your mind, you know, what is being tested is comprehension. Do you understand what is being talked about? Do you understand what these people are saying, if it's a conversation? Do you understand what is being said? Do you understand what you're supposed to do? And then, basically, it's going to be easy for you. I thank you so much for doing and keeping it here. And I urge you to follow up even other lessons that you've had on this channel. And don't forget to subscribe. It's going to be good. Thank you so much.